locked and loaded. All right, man, back in the shop, another fab project on the table. We do a lot of stuff like this. Already done the setup, but we need to readjust because a lot of my friends are just as out of control as I am. So Mitch has upgraded this all. His old turbo setup used to be a decent aftermarket manifold. It wasn't something I made. It was very much like the one that was on Purdy's car that we just last played with. Just an aftermarket, heavy duty, Schedule 10 manifold. Now he's updated it to all new Artec stuff, which is awesome. Again, Matt will get some close-ups of that. It looks dope. It's also cast stainless, all engineered by people who probably make way more money and know more engineering stuff than I do about flow dynamics. They cast them out of stainless steel, so they're literally indestructible. Traditionally, cast manifolds are like a log manifold. This is a cast tubular manifold, so they sound awesome still. They always give it that nice raspy tubular manifold sound to it. It's got some nice titanium studs on it, which are super, super trick. But we're doing very similar things that we did to Purdy's. We got to take our classic Vibrant bend. I threw it over there somewhere. The 2873, 2.5-inch cast elbow. We got to weld that onto the new turbocharger. So take brand new $3,000 turbos, cut them up with the Sawzall, make them work better for what we want to do. Weld the 90-degree elbow on here. Then we're going to take the titanium HD clamp ferrule, so then we can retain this titanium intercooler pipe that I made before, and I'll grab it from inside. This thing also has a super sweet intake on it. So same thing, I have to take the opposing side of this HD clamp because these, come out, little buddy. Pretty gangster. That I made up before that has a full titanium velocity stack on it, made by Fab Jesus, Proper Fabs, Mark Gentile. He's been around forever, guys. Killer fabricator, taught me a lot of what I know today. But we got to take another opposing side of this HD clamp, so then we can weld it to the brand new Garrett turbo, and we can just put all the sweet goodies we made before right back in home. So just make everything fit all the way back in there the way that it should. So we'll just kind of run you through that process. Already did a downpipe. I didn't really film much of it because I literally just did that on Purdy's car, and it's literally the exact same thing. Cutting up bends, making bends. If you want me to do more of that and film more of it, let me know, because I can do that. But I feel it's kind of pointless doing the same thing over and over. But again, if you want it, you say it, we'll do it. But shy of that, undo all the pieces I just made. I can clean all those ones up. I need to undo this housing now so I can weld. Well, not weld it yet. We got to do the same thing we did before. Make this loose so I can clock it where I want it. Hold my ferrule clamp close to this so I know we're all in the same place, and then I can Sawzall that off, weld it to the nice new turbocharger, and then that section's done because I've already done the downpipe. I've already done the wastegate. Just need to be welded up. Already got a pile of stuff for my buddy Dave's truck that I'm working on over there that is in the same state. So that's how I kind of like to do it. Do a bunch of fab stuff, then I can sit down for 2-3 hours and just weld it all out. So shy of that, I say shy of that a lot, but I don't care, whatever. Let's just keep rocking. Let's just keep moving forward with some progress on this bad boy. So we got this old flange off of Mitch's old setup. I just told him to cut it off, save him some coin, because I can reuse this, no problem. There's nothing wrong with it. Just got to clean up the old welds off of it. For the intake side, I have a brand new flange to put on, but in general, I need to prep this because this is going to get welded to the end of that elbow that I'm going to weld to the turbocharger. So step one, clean this bad boy up, put it on my little elbow, and I can undo the turbo in there and rotate it, get it close to where I want everything, put some marks on it, and we can weld all that aluminum up, no problem. But yeah, I'll start spinning this on the lathe, start chipping away on some material. I'll get my safety glasses just for dad. All right, safety glasses in stock. Sorry, Rob. It's my dad's name.
Yeah, I'm just loosening up the bolts on the housing now just so I can spin this around and kind of see where I want it to sit. I just like a little bit of playroom in there, just something like that. So we're probably gonna have to add a small section to this. And we can't, this isn't a V-band housing, which kind of makes it stuck. This is the only place it can sit. So we are a little closer here comparative to how we were before. It's gonna have that ferrule on it there. This clamp is gonna sit there, so we're just gonna make sure that there's enough room. You can always massage the fender a little bit for it. This car is very used to it, to being massaged. It should fit there. So I'm pretty happy, like I'm pretty content knowing that this is gonna fit here. Worst case, I can always add a small section to this intercooler pipe just to push it out that little bit more, just to close this gap, but I think we'll be able to, I think there's enough leg down in here that I can loosen it and just pull it up to it and just close that distance. So we're gonna be pretty rocking like that, honestly. But I'll tack this to that first. So I'll swap the welder over to aluminum just so I can throw a buzz on that. Then I can kind of, there's a little bit of playroom on this, down like that. So it can sit on a little angle or it can sit up a little bit more. We got some playroom.
Right on.
So we got this tube in there, we got that tube in there, and then ideally, we want these, something like that. That's the ideal scenario. Because then this clamp, normally there's another black ferrule that goes over it. I'm probably gonna have to massage this a little bit. Sorry, Mitch. Just to get this clamp on. Oh my God. If it's not massaged, it's gonna be impossible. Because it's tight in there. And then once this elbow is on there, it's going to be a little bit of a different situation. Honestly, probably should just add a little bit to this tube on the bottom. But I can do that after, no problem. I'll just end up cutting off my bead roll. Adding another 2.5 inch straight section down there. Welding her on. I could do is I can maybe take a little bit out of this.
The elbow, shorten the elbow up.
Yeah, and then it would bring it over. Just gauging it. I was just saying to Matt there, the only other thing I might, after, you know, those marks will work. It's just this clamp's tight there. I've beat this car up a lot, so if I don't have to hit it with a hammer again, I'd rather not. So I'm gonna just try and take a little bit out of this elbow. It's not gonna hurt anything. I'm just gonna keep that same CLR. I'm just closing, it's like 1/2 inch. Take a 1/2 inch off of it, sneak it in there, and I think that'll give us that clearance there. And if it doesn't help, I still gotta hit it. So we're in the same boat anyways. I'd rather at least try and get it so that this clamp sits more like that. Now it should have the finger and it just should make it easier for Mitch to assemble everything. Still going to have to add that straight section. That's no big deal. We got lots of titanium tubing to do that, no problem. So let's just try and smidge a little off of this bad boy.
Now, Mike?
Yeah, dude, got her trimmed back a little bit. Looks good, actually. It's way better. We're gonna end up cutting this piece off in the inside anyways. Mm-hmm. I'm a lot happier with that.
And you didn't have to use Thor's hammer, right?
No, didn't even have to use the hammer. We got some clearance. Yeah, man, so we got all that mocked up in there. I just loosened all the bolts off of the housing. We're gonna pull this out. You could leave this on, but I take them off. I just think it looks better if you someone looks on it inside one day and they're like, hey, that guy took that piece off. So we're gonna be that guy. We're gonna take this little elbow off just so it's not in there, because we end up welding to this lip. So I just saws all that as clean as I can to it. Also for this, since we have this off, the other thing we're gonna weld onto it at the same time is this opposing ferrule to make the intake fit on. So we're gonna take this 4-inch vibrant flange, nice fitment right on there, and we're gonna weld that right to the turbocharger at the exact same time. So then at least we have this whole side done, and then I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna have to modify it, so we're gonna modify it first, and then we're gonna weld everything all at one shot. Just thought I might as well bring that out, just mention that piece, because that's just another piece of the puzzle. So did a couple little modifications on that elbow to get it prim and proper, and that worked perfect. No hammers involved, so nice, Mitch. One less hammer.
One less hammer.
One less hammer. Turned out great so far. We got the housing on there. I got everything all cleaned up. Welded my little ferrule on there. It's looking good. It's always trickier welding to cast stuff. It just acts a little differently. I'm never the happiest with my aluminum welding, but only way to get better is do more of it. And that's what we're about to do. We're gonna do some more aluminum welding. So we got our marks put on there. I'll probably just throw a quick tack on it and then go back, check it again. I just always like to triple check triple H it, you know, but we have this in here. I didn't put the clamps on because I don't really need them on right now. I can just set it flush on the housing. I'm good with that. This intercooler pipe still has enough meat to grab, but I'm gonna extend it just so we fill the gap up because it's holding on by a hair. So we'll do that later. It's no big deal. We're just doing some aluminum stuff today. So tack the elbow, put it back in, double check fitment, clean it all again, and then we will weld this to that, and then we'll take that big 4-inch ferrule clamp that we had before, weld it right on there, and then my intake's gonna direct deposit right back into its old home. So I'm pretty happy with that. And the downpipe's done, wastegate's done, just needs welded. So after this, lots of welding, and then onto the fuel cell. Let's get to it. I'm just preheating this cast up just because this turbocharger is so much thicker than everything else. So I just like to throw some nice heat into it, especially in these thicker sections down here. See all the moisture come out of it. Get it all heat soaked. And we're back. We got all that welded up now, and everything should go back in its home. Yep, look at that. Right like there. everything's gonna be perfect. I gotta put all the clamps and stuff on, but in general, that's gonna go in there. And this goes on. Just like that. Oh, everything's falling off. But in general, that's how it's gonna go back. So everything is all back in its home now. We got the downpipe all mocked up, so I'm super happy with that. Looking good. Mitch will get this all coated after. I'd like, oh, this is gonna fall off. Whoa. Yeah, we'll just let it sit like that. And yeah, once everything bolts up, that'll be perfect. So that's a successful Saturday, some moddage, get all that wrapped up, and then probably next weekend or a day this week, I want to get covered in fuel. I'll start dropping out the fuel cell out of it, undoing all the lines, and cutting some big holes in the trunk for the beautiful new fuel cell, make some mounts for that so we can go over that whole process. And then that's it, man. That's wrapping it up. So if you guys like it, let us know. If not, also let us know. Stay tuned for the next one, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, let us know your opinions. The more people that we get engaging, the more we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna have fun doing it, because that's what I like doing. I just like making cool shit for cool people. So catch you in the next one.